This is Salamancer, and we need to talk competitive Team Fortress 2. More specifically, why isn't competitive TF2 right here? I mean, it seems like a pretty simple thing, right? You tell Valve, look, you've already got this wonderful lobby system, why don't you just let people make their own lobbies and play with the configs and all that in the game? I mean, there's a couple of stumbling blocks to that, but in my mind, there is no bigger stumbling block than this. Cold, hard cache. We can talk a lot about the specifics of implementation of how you would put this in. Would you do 6s or would you do 9v9? Would you use separate configs? Would you have maybe some special tick boxes for different configs like they have for man versus machine right now? Whatever. I mean, you could figure that out. Of course, Valve would have to host a few servers, but I'm sure that's not too big of an expense. The issue, though, is that how are they going to make money from competitive Team Fortress 2? Right now you have competitive Team Fortress 2 really run by the community. Valve isn't supporting it, they aren't putting it in the game, they're doing their best on an individual basis, but as a company, they don't really see how they could ever make money from the system. They mostly see it as a casual game. They want to appeal to all of the people who play it, and not just that subset of competitive players. But then, not everybody plays man versus machine either, and yet they're making money from that through tickets. So I hope you see where I'm going with this. Let's say Valve decides to put a 6v6 mode in the game. And when they do this, they add tickets. So you've got all your options over here. I want to select, well, 6v6, and I want to play with the North American ban list or the European, vanilla rule set or whatever. Or I select 9v9. And I can play without having a ticket. So that's the idea, is that you can remove your ticket and you can play if you want to. But if you add tickets, something special happens. Let's say, for instance, it's stat recording, and each month all your stats reset. So if I want to play, a month's worth of competitive soldier, then if I pay for a ticket, either, on a day-by-day basis or for that month or on a game-by-game basis, whatever they want, then my stats get recorded and I get put on a leaderboard for the soldier, whether it's just going to be kills or, kills per game and, winning games count more. And then if you are at the top of the leaderboard at the end of the month, then you get some kind of special item or special prize. Or, you could even change it so that you have a chance to get some kind of special competitive item every time you play or every time you win a game. There's a lot of ways Valve could implement that sort of thing, and I think they could make a heck of a lot of money from people playing through the game system itself instead of playing through TF2 Lobby or all these IRC pickup game bots. Of course, there will still be external sites and external leagues. You'll still have ESEA, you'll still have UGC, because those are the ones, especially ESEA, those are the ones that have those big cash prizes. But this would be a great way for Valve to start getting into it. They could, figure out their own weapon ban list if they wanted to, or they could just let everybody play with anything they want. Or, like I said earlier, they could actually have people, choose a checkbox that says, well, here's the current ESEA ban list, or here's the current, UGC or ETF2L ban list, and they can play on servers that have those. So, Valve, this is a pitch to you. Of course, I love the game you have made, but I'm a little disappointed by the lack of competitive support, and I would love to see if you guys could put out an update in the future, has some kind of like a head-to-head theme, like you did with the old Demo Man stuff. Demo Man versus Soldier is what I mean by that. And I would love to see a head-to-head update come out that says, look, we've got these lobby systems now, why don't we use them for a competitive game mode, and if you want to try signing up and playing a competitive round or two, well, you can get your basic training medal or whatever it is, and if you play a whole bunch of them, or if you win a lot, or if you're a really good, medic or whatever it is, whatever the case may be, then you win special items, or you get more drops, or whatever the case, because you know how people love their hats. I mean, come on. Who doesn't want to get a hat just for playing at competitive Team Fortress 2? I know that it is one of my favorite things to do. So, it would be a very easy way for them to just set up like a little bit of a monthly league almost. They wouldn't even have to really administrate it. All they would have to do is make sure you weren't getting some weird like hacking like we once saw. I think maybe the dual system had something like that. But it should be fairly easy to control. And if you just set it and forget it so that every first of the month it automatically deletes everybody's stats and you have to retry it, I think it worked pretty well. So Valve, I really hope you at least consider the idea. And I want to hear from the viewers as well. What do you guys think? Would this kind of system work? Would you play in this kind of system? That's the most important thing. Leave me a comment saying whether or not you would try it out if Valve implemented a competitive lobby system, one where you didn't have to pay, but where paying actually gets you a decent return, like some extra items. I know I've bought myself some man versus machine tickets, and it's pretty cool. So hope you guys enjoy the video, and please do leave me those comments. Send a message to Valve saying, look, here is how we might be able to implement some competitive gameplay. Thanks a lot.